When you walk into a pharmacy, a cosmetic store, or even your kitchen, chances are you've seen a product with aloe vera on the label. From soothing sunburns to being an ingredient in drinks, skin creams, and even health supplements, aloe vera has earned the nickname the miracle plant. Today, we're taking you inside a supergiant aloe vera farm, where acres upon acres of this spiky green plant are cultivated, tended, and harvested on a scale that will leave you amazed. You'll see how farmers grow, care for, and process millions of aloe vera leaves every year, turning them into one of the world's most trusted natural remedies. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss more mind-blowing stories from the world of farming and industry. Aloe vera is a succulent plant species from the genus Aloe. Recognizable by its thick, fleshy green leaves filled with a clear gel-like substance, aloe vera has been used by humans for thousands of years. Ancient Egyptians called it the plant of immortality and used it in medicine, cosmetics, and even embalming. Today, aloe vera is grown all over the world, especially in warm climates like Mexico, the Dominican Republic, India, and the southern United States. What makes aloe vera special is what's inside its leaves. The clear inner gel contains vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and antioxidants, while the yellow latex beneath the skin has strong medicinal properties. Together, they make aloe vera one of the most versatile plants on Earth. But growing aloe vera for the global market requires more than just planting seeds. It's a process of careful farming, large-scale harvesting, and efficient processing. And it all starts with the land. Aloe vera thrives in hot, dry climates with well-drained sandy soil. Farms preparing to grow aloe vera first clear large tracts of land and plow the soil to improve aeration and water absorption. Instead of growing aloe vera from seeds, which takes too long, most farmers use suckers or pups, small offshoots that grow around the base of mature aloe plants. These suckers are removed, dried for a day or two to prevent rotting, and then replanted in neat rows. On a giant aloe farm, the planting operation is massive. Machines and workers plant thousands of pups every day, ensuring proper spacing of about 60 to 80 centimeters apart to allow each plant enough room to spread its leaves. Once planted, aloe vera doesn't require heavy irrigation. In fact, too much water can kill the plant. Instead, farms use drip irrigation systems, delivering just the right amount of water directly to the roots. After about 18 to 24 months, the plants mature and their thick, fleshy leaves are ready for harvest. But before harvesting, a lot of care goes into tending the plants. Unlike delicate crops, aloe vera is naturally hardy. It doesn't need much fertilizer or pesticides. Still, to maximize yield on a supergiant farm, farmers regularly check soil conditions, monitor pests, and prune older leaves. Weeds are carefully removed so they don't compete for water. Since aloe vera leaves are filled with water and nutrients, they can also attract insects. To protect millions of plants, farms often use natural pest control methods instead of harsh chemicals, ensuring the final product remains organic and safe for use in health and beauty products. Each aloe plant can live for several years, producing new leaves every few months. A healthy plant can yield 8 to 12 leaves per year, and when multiplied across hundreds of acres, we're talking about millions of fresh aloe vera leaves harvested annually. Harvesting aloe vera is both an art and a science. Workers move through the giant green fields, carefully cutting the outer, most mature leaves at the base of the plant. Each leaf can grow up to 60 to 100 centimeters long and weigh over 1 kilogram. Harvesters avoid cutting the young inner leaves, which ensures the plant continues to grow for years. On supergiant farms, harvesting is done on a rolling schedule. Teams move row by row, collecting only the mature leaves. In just one day, thousands of kilograms of aloe vera can be collected. Timing is critical. Once harvested, aloe leaves start losing their freshness and active compounds quickly. That's why large farms have collection systems in place. Leaves are placed in crates or on conveyor belts and transported immediately to the processing facility. Inside the factory, workers wash the leaves to remove dirt and field residues. Then the real magic begins, extracting the gel. The harvested leaves are first trimmed to remove spines along the edges. Then, machines fillet the leaves, separating the outer green rind from the inner clear gel. The gel is collected, filtered, and sometimes pasteurized to remove impurities and extend shelf life. High-tech factories may use cold pressing methods to preserve maximum nutrients. Any leftover rind or waste from processing isn't thrown away. Many farms recycle it into organic compost, which is then returned to the fields, creating a sustainable cycle. Since aloe vera is often used in food and medicine, quality control is strict. Laboratories test the gel for purity, ensuring no contamination or excessive alloying. A strong laxative compound from the latex layer remains. Once approved, the gel is packed into sterile containers, either as raw aloe gel or as an ingredient for export. From there, it travels to cosmetic factories, beverage companies, and pharmaceutical plants around the world. Today, aloe vera is a multi-billion-dollar industry. From the US to Asia and Europe, aloe products are found in nearly every supermarket and pharmacy. In fact, it's estimated that over 50% of skincare products globally contain aloe vera in some form. Its role in health, beauty, and wellness is unmatched. And it all begins on farms like the one we explored today. Vast green fields where millions of aloe vera leaves are grown, harvested, and processed for the world. It's a reminder that behind every simple product we use lies a hidden story of farmers, workers, and massive farms that bring nature's gifts to the global market. If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes journey into the world of aloe vera farming, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We've got many more fascinating stories of how everyday products are grown, processed, and transformed in ways you've never imagined. Until next time, stay curious. What most people don't realize is that getting green onions from the farm to your dinner plate requires a huge, well-organized industry. In fact, millions of tons of green onions are grown every year, with major farms in places like California, Arizona, and Mexico supplying both domestic and international markets. Before we jump into the incredible story of how millions of tons of green onions are grown, harvested, and processed for one of the world's favorite dishes, Mongolian beef, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on the bell. That way, you'll never miss our deep dives into the world's most fascinating farms and factories. Green onions start their journey as tiny seeds planted in carefully prepared fields. Unlike bulb onions, green onions are harvested before the bulb develops, which means timing is everything. Farmers select rich, sandy loam soil with good drainage, since green onions need constant moisture, but don't tolerate soggy conditions. Large fields are leveled, irrigated, and fertilized before planting. Seeds are sown in long, straight rows, sometimes with specialized planters that ensure even spacing for optimal growth. Over the next few months, the onions are nurtured with careful irrigation, weed control, and pest management. Farmers must strike a delicate balance. Too much water and the onions become soft, too little and they dry out and become tough. As the stalks grow, workers check the fields daily. They look for the deep green color that signals freshness and the right length, usually about 12 to 18 inches. Unlike many crops, green onions are harvested by hand because of their delicate nature. This is backbreaking work, requiring workers to bend and pull onions from the soil row by row. Every year, the world produces over 6 million metric tons of green onions, with the United States accounting for hundreds of thousands of tons from states like California, Arizona, and New Mexico. To put it in perspective, one large farm in California's Imperial Valley can harvest enough green onions in a single season to supply over 250 million restaurant servings of Mongolian beef. That's a staggering number, and it shows just how massive this industry really is. Harvesting green onions, however, is not something that can be easily automated. Unlike wheat or corn, there are no giant machines that can sweep through the fields and collect them all. Instead, it's still largely a human-powered process, requiring thousands of farm workers each season. Picture this. A team of 30 workers can pull up to 60,000 onions in a single day. The onions are harvested at just the right stage, when the stalks reach about 12 to 18 inches in height and the greens are crisp and firm. Each stalk is carefully pulled from the soil by hand. Workers then trim the roots at the base and snip the leafy tops to create a neat, uniform product. On average, a single acre of farmland produces between 20,000 to 30,000 bunches of green onions, and large commercial farms can span hundreds or even thousands of acres. That means one farm can easily produce tens of millions of bunches in a year. Once trimmed, the onions are grouped into tight bundles, usually 6 to 10 stalks per bunch, and placed into bins or crates. These are quickly loaded onto trucks waiting at the edge of the fields. Time is critical here. Green onions begin losing moisture the moment they are pulled from the soil. To preserve freshness, many farms transport the harvest to cooling facilities within just 1 to 2 hours of picking. At the processing facilities, conveyor belts carry the onions through high-pressure washing systems that remove every trace of dirt. Cameras and human inspectors check each batch for quality, ensuring that only the freshest, greenest onions make it to supermarkets and restaurants. From there, the onions are sorted by size and length, packaged into cartons, and kept in cold storage before being shipped across the country. The sheer scale is breathtaking. For example, in the US, a single distribution center can handle over 500,000 pounds of green onions per week, moving them from farms to grocery stores and restaurant supply chains. Globally, when you add up all the onions harvested, sorted, and shipped, you're looking at billions of individual stalks, traveling through one of the most efficient fresh produce supply chains on Earth. Once they reach food processing centers or restaurant kitchens, green onions go through another round of preparation. For Mongolian beef, the white base and tender green tops are essential. Chefs begin by washing the onions again, slicing them into 2-inch segments. These are then stir-fried quickly in hot oil, added near the end of the cooking process to preserve their fresh crunch and flavor. Without green onions, Mongolian beef would lose much of its signature taste. The slight sharpness of the onion balances the sweet soy sauce, while the fresh crunch contrasts perfectly with the tender beef. In large-scale food production, automated slicers and processors handle tons of green onions every day. These machines wash, cut, and package the onions for restaurant chains and frozen meal companies, ensuring consistent quality and flavor. The demand for green onions is enormous. In the United States alone, millions of tons are consumed annually, and global demand is even higher. To meet this demand, farms operate year-round, often rotating fields and relying on regions with favorable climates. But farming green onions also comes with challenges: water usage, soil depletion, and labor intensity. That's why many farms are adopting sustainable practices, such as drip irrigation, organic fertilizers, and reduced pesticide use. Some even experiment with vertical farming and greenhouse production, allowing onions to grow closer to cities and reducing transportation costs. From field to processing plant to your plate, the green onion supply chain is an incredible feat of coordination and logistics. Without it, dishes like Mongolian beef wouldn't be possible on such a massive scale. It's a story of farming, hard work, and global trade, all wrapped up in one simple ingredient. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of green onion farming and processing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. We've got many more behind-the-scenes looks at how your favorite foods and everyday products are made. Thanks for watching, and stay curious. From endless green fields stretching to the horizon, to giant trucks loaded with fruits weighing over 50 pounds each, the watermelon harvest is nothing short of spectacular. Farmers must pick each watermelon at the perfect moment. Too early, and it's tasteless. Too late, and it rots in the field. Imagine thousands of workers, powerful machines, and high-tech systems working in perfect harmony to deliver the fruit fresh to your table. Today, we'll take you inside the world of the supergiant watermelon harvest, where millions of tons are harvested and processed in ways you've never seen before. Before we jump into the fascinating world of the supergiant watermelon harvest, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Your support really helps us bring you more eye-opening stories from farms, factories, and processing plants across the globe. So let's dive right in. It all starts months earlier when farmers prepare the soil. The earth has to be loose, rich in nutrients, and well-drained. Seeds are planted in neat rows, spaced just right so every plant gets enough sunlight and water. Over the course of 80 to 100 days, these seeds transform into sprawling vines, with giant green fruits forming under the summer sun. But watermelons aren't just left alone to grow. Farmers monitor the plants every single day. They check soil moisture, irrigate when the weather is too dry, and make sure pests don't ruin the crop. The balance has to be perfect. Too much water, and the melons become mushy. Too little, and they won't reach their full sweetness. When the time is right, usually late summer, the harvest begins. This is where the spectacle really starts. Teams of workers or giant harvesting machines sweep across the fields. Each melon is checked for ripeness, usually by its yellow patch on the bottom or even the hollow sound it makes when tapped.